Hello, everybody. Welcome to the That's How We Roll channel. I know how to do this intro. Tonight's
Hi.
Misfits of Alseta. This is a D&D 5e actual play. And tonight, all the beautiful players before you will be playing level 9 characters. And before we get to know them, let's go to Lee for an announcement.
Hello, I'm Lee for an announcement. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm is an amazingly fun idle game where you set your formation, you send them into battle, you fight all kinds of amazing D&D creatures. It's all Forgotten Realms, it's all lore. There's amazing writing from some people I know who are amazing, and there's some great characters that you can be. My favorite is Penelope Halfpint, who famously has been played by one Hope LaVelle. It's Hope LaVelle, our
What?
DM.
No.
And what we would like for you is a free Electrum chest. Now, if you can answer the wizard's riddle and find out where you're supposed to put in a password, you could put in Karn Herb Shoe and get a free chest. Once again, that's Karn Herb Shoe. Anyway, I'm also Lee Goldberg, pancake artist, father. That's why I had to leave last week a little early. My kid was sick and screaming. But here I get to be David, who after last episode is probably sick and screaming. He's a Circle of Stars druid. He's a he, him, just like I am, and still bad at animals. I guess, Jacob, you're number 2.
I am definitely number 2 today. Just doesn't feel good. We miss April. April will be back shortly, everyone. Don't worry. April is still okay. She's a little sick. It's all good. Anyway, my name is Jacob Plicque, Duval King Jacob, all over the internet, he, him pronouns, just like my dude Kotatar, who is a Githzerai, who has a Walker Ranger. It's fucking lit in here, y'all. We're in a desert. It's going to be a good time. I'm so stoked. Let's do some shit today.
Yeah, g'day, I'm Ozzy Osbourne. I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1967. I'm playing a Dhampir rogue, barbarian, probably a musician. I'm a musician, if you didn't know that. And, yeah.
Can you see?
Can I see?
The question.
Kind of.
All right. Good enough for me.
What is happening?
Who knows? I guess I'll go. Hi, I'm Princess Dani, and I am a TTRPG player playing Silva, the Warlock Fire Genasi. We both use she, her pronouns. Those are thing. And you can find me on the internet at Bitterthorn. Forget my entire intro.
Since we're all doing props, I thought I'd just get my head out. So this is I'm Cowboy Damien. And...
No.
I just got okay with normal, Damien. What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Hi, I'm Damien with he, him pronouns. I'm playing Reginald Bellagamba, Eladrin fighter / paladin. And I would like to welcome you all here. And I'll do the Indigenous acknowledgement before handing back to Hope. So I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, and I pay my respects to the elders past and present. We have Daniel from the land of Aotearoa, the Maori people, and also from North America, we have people from the lands of the Fernandino, Tataviam, Hohokam, Timakua, Creek, and Cherokee, and pay our respects to Indigenous peoples all over the world. Yeehaw.
Oh my god. And I am Hope LaVelle. You can watch me as an 80-year-old grandma one more time on Children of Erte this coming Tuesday, and then it's all over. So come to the Demiplane RPG channel to watch if you don't already. And so let's do it one more time. But more importantly, tonight I am the Dungeon Master, and I think with all of that out of the way, let's roll our intro and get started.
Would you be so kind to sound, please.
Darkness is falling. Through chaos, fate is calling. Your dreams are haunting you. Nightmares becoming true. So will you stand and fight? Will you survive the night? It's time to awaken and find a light.
Okay, a recap. What happened last time? I have
Too many giggles
no
in here.
memory. No memory. Okay, so last episode was basically a travel episode. You guys had some watches to heal, take a long rest, had some conversations, and then off you went to leave LaVelle and back into Cendrillane. And as you were trying to get back to Limbo, David disappeared.
Yeah.
And where he went was behind the waterfalls of Cendrillane, into a cavern in a little nook where he met, let me get this right, Nightstar, of the druidest of druids, who presented him with a circle and kind of an ultimatum and told him to get into the circle. And David did not. And in fact, then ran as a horse far away. And when he came back with his friends, Nightstar was gone, and so was the circle and any trace of them. You guys made it back to Limbo. And from there, you found a way to find a portal to Faerûn. There weren't many ways from Limbo to Faerûn, but you guys found what believed to be the closest you could get, because you're on your way to Mithranar. And you guys found yourselves in a desert, a vast desert. And that is where we start tonight. Let me explain what you see. The ground is dry and cracked beneath you. The sun seems impossibly high in the sky, and it feels like it's not moving. I mean, that's just how hot and how bright it is. There is a rough wind hitting you in the face and blowing dust into your eyes. There are heat lines in the distance making the terrain dance in front of you. And there's an occasional tumbleweed or a cactus, but other than that, it just seems to be rocks and dust and nothing else. What would you like to do?
Ugh.
Danny,
Nothing,
you're...
apparently.
Yeah. I thought Danny was trying to speak, but I didn't hear anything.
Yes, I said, this doesn't look like the Faerûn I remember. Is this another part? Does anyone actually know this place?
To be fair, we were in Faerûn for like 10 minutes or something.
Right, but it wasn't anything like this.
Faerûn is like a Threnor. I'm imagining it's a large place, continent, or continents perhaps, and all different kinds of weather.
Sure.
I know, I don't
And we-
like it. Oof.
But we're also, it looks a very long way from civilization, unless, do you see anything? Anyone?
Kotar kind of drops down the goggles and is looking around, scanning
Perception
the
check.
terrain.
Yep, with advantage.
Oh, wow. Not good. I rolled a nat 3 twice. Off to a great start, everyone.
Great job.
Your boy's ready.
I was really counting on you.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
14.
Oh wow.
Nope. 16.
A 16?
Yeah.
That's still really good for a nat 3.
Sure.
So with a 16, through the heat lines and way off in the distance to the west, or what you believe to be the west, as the sun is directly above you, are mountains. Very dry, rocky mountains, but they are so far in the distance.
Can I do?
We'll walk up to Silva and just kind of point forward. Mountain ranges, probably a good place to start.
Yeah, better than nothing, yeah.
And then if that's a dead end, we can certainly travel based off of where the mountain range sort of begins or ends and go from there.
Maybe even get a better view.
Sure.
Okay.
Can I maybe do a survival check just to see if there's like any semblance of where there might be more moisture, like water, if there's any kind of if there's anything that I can do with survival that Lee the human couldn't.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, not
I
with a
think-
nat 4.
No.
10.
It seems pretty barren out here. You think that maybe you could get some juices from a cactus, but they're far and few between.
Yeah, mountains. Only option I can see that's not just more desert.
From a quick glance, how far away would we look to be on foot from them?
I'm really bad with time and distance. I would say probably you could make it to the base, maybe half a day journey, maybe a little
Okay.
more.
Looks like the base we can make in about a half a day.
Half a day should be okay. We shouldn't burn to death in that time.
Well, let's get moving then. Oh, God, he's in my boots!
Yes, just looking at this
What's wrong with your
sand.
boots?
I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and gets everywhere.
And sand can get in unmentionable places and be just really irritating. Just
Yes. That's quite the crack.
oh.
Speaking of, oh.
And he gives San a little wink.
I open a portal and throw Samleon through it.
Okay, so you guys decide to start heading towards the mountains. Everyone give me Constitution saving throws. As
I
you
was just about to
travel
ask about
for the
how the
first
weather.
hour.
That's Constitution saving throws are always good. It's a good sign.
Not good. We're gonna put that dice away because it's not.
I'll take a nat 20.
Oh, look at you!
Oh, I'll take a net 22.
Oh, look at you!
What are we doing? Sorry, my brain kind of
Con
like
save.
Con
Oh, right. What for?
The
It depends.
Stuff.
The heat.
No, that makes sense. No, all right, fine. Oh, fuck yeah! It's a 9.
Yo,
Got
I
19?
love that for you.
How about you, Kotatar? Got 19 Silva.
8.
8. So
Oh, yeah, both of us are like.
Kotatar and Ozzy, you're gonna have this.
Killing me.
Killing me.
Yeah, what?
If Nira were here, she would not like that. Okay, Ozzy. No, San Leon. You both take 5 points of heat damage.
Oh shit! All right, we're going right to HP. Eh?
Yep.
All right.
All right. So the first hour passes with pretty much nothing. Is there anything you'd like to do during this time?
I think Kotatar is actually like a bit surprised at his reaction to this heat, and but also kind of recognizes he's wearing like a shit ton of clothes, and so like there's a level of sort of like, all right, like kind of grin and bear it type of situation. And he just sort of grits his teeth and keeps pushing on.
Yeah, I could have done something if I knew we were going to be traveling in the desert, but I don't have anything helpful. I thorn whip
The
the heat.
The heat. As you guys travel, the heat waves seem to become more and more intense as the day seems to just crawl by, that sun barely moving. And as you guys make it into about your second hour, you're starting to feel a little parched. I'm sure you're sharing water. I know David probably has means to make water. Maybe not. He didn't probably prepare it.
I mean, if you all would like some inky black water, I got you.
That's so gross.
We could drink your water elemental. Yum yum.
My water elemental is ink.
Ew.
I have an inkling I wouldn't like that.
Oh. Okay.
I'm really gonna open this portal.
Into your second hour, and
I mean, I
into
will.
your
I will
third.
run a survival. I'll do a survival to see if I can find any water. If I can find a way, like, and cactuses that we pass by, see if I can get enough to get something.
Okay,
Add
give
a
me
plus
your
5. I'm
survival.
gonna help you.
Okay, and I'm
Fine.
guiding myself too.
I'm gonna walk up to San Leon and say, "Oh, San Leon, looking a little sunburnt."
26.
Well, let's just say the sun doesn't do well with my complexion, Reginald.
Would you mind just? I practice this with Nira, but I'd like just to practice this a bit more. Ever since I devoted myself to Makiak and the protection of the plains, I've kind of felt this kind of energy and power within me. So just stand still just a second, and he like whacks you on the back on the sunburn, and you heal 5 points of damage from lay on hands.
Nice. That's so funny.
You actually become pale again, San Leon, as the sunburn seems to fade away. But it's quickly going to return.
sunburn. Fuck that. That's so funny. Well,
So you feel a bit of
your
pain, and then you're
application
fine.
and bedside manner may need a little work there, Reginald. The result was quite nice, thank you.
Oh, so you feel better. So it was a success.
Yes, it was a success.
Oh.
Thank you, Reginald.
Fantastic.
David,
26 on
you
that survival.
find, yeah, you find a nice little clump of cacti that are just kind of off to the distance a little. You see them in the heat waves. Maybe for a second you're not sure if they're real or a mirage, but you're able to run over and you find enough to break open and get enough of a drink for everyone, where I was about to ask for other con saves, but because of your 26, we won't.
Drink
Is
up.
it safe to drink
It's-
cactus water?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what
Alright.
you're allowed to drink, but I don't. I know about some stuff with plants. Mumble.
You do? Interesting. Well, not really a surprise. Well, thank you, David.
Everyone
You know, I'll
give me
give the water
perception
skin.
checks.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Let's do better this time.
15.
Oh, we did better.
Let's do worse this time. Let's
Way
do
better.
worse. Oh, that's better. 23?
31.
What the fuck? I mean,
29 with a nat 20.
What's going on?
Wow.
30-20.
David and Kotatar, lockstep. Got the cactus water together. Blam. Perception check. Blam.
All of you are being quite perceptive because there's been nothing out here for hours. It has just been the distant mountains, maybe some rock formations here and there, just little cacti and tumbleweeds. And in the heat waves, in the distance, you swear you see a figure.
I don't think we've been traveling that long, so illusions should not be part of our experience. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
There is also illusion magic. We deal with it enough, so
Illusion
it could
magic,
still be.
yes. I mean, that could be a thing. But let me lead the way. I'll approach it.
By all means, lead the way, Reginald.
What season are you in, Reginald?
That's right. So I popped in. I was regretting not being in my winter season, so I think, yes, I am in my autumn season.
Okay, and what benefits does that give you?
Very good question. Let me just double check.
Couldn't have said summer.
Oh, damn it! Come on.
Jesus, maybe.
Autumn. Basically, it affects my phase step differently.
Okay. Okay. Describe your autumn self.
So you see him normally in his springy form. You'd see all the different flowers protruding from his arms and back and legs. And usually his face is quite clear, but it's kind of a reddy brown, decaying leaves all over him. And yeah, that's about it.
So, you guys all let Reginald lead towards the figure?
I'll
You
walk
guys
lockstep
follow?
with him.
Okay.
I'll keep a little bit of distance, but keeping an eye on probably
Okay.
45 feet back.
Okay. And Kotatar, if you were to look, your bow is not lit at this point.
100%. He's looking.
Yeah. As you get closer and closer, the wave lines of the heat becomes a little smaller as the figure starts to take a more solid form.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on a rock in the middle of the desert sits a woman with very tan skin. She's very well built. She's very muscular, very broad shouldered. She wears her hair in lots of little braids, and then it's braided into one large braid. And she wears like gold metal bracers and little things on her arms. They're little circle bracelet thingies that go on the arm. I forget what they're called.
Oh, bangles?
Yeah, like a bangle, sure, yeah. And a teal armor.
The Bengals are playing in the desert? Before
Is-
Reginald, because I know Reginald's taking point, so before he goes up, I'm just gonna grab him by the arm and come down here. As he leans down so I can whisper or talk to him quietly.
Yeah.
Remember.
Yep.
Just be you. Okay? You don't need to introduce yourself as a litany of titles. Just be yourself. Be confident. You don't owe anyone anything. Just be you. Good luck, bud.
That means a lot, David. Thank you. I'm
And
trying.
I guess that seems like a good thing to give you guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Guidance.
Um,
So, does this what's so you said it was a lady, yes?
yeah.
Is she looking towards me or away from me?
She has her back to you guys, and it looks almost she's like in a very deep trance. She looks like she's meditating on this rock.
I will come around to the front and just kind of wait until she's finished trancing, and just kind of sit in a meditative state myself.
She doesn't flinch or move for a couple of moments. And then she takes a deep breath and she says, "Well met, travelers." And she opens her eyes and they almost glow blue for just a second before they return to their brown color.
Well met. May I say, if you don't mind me saying, and he's a little bit embarrassed, you have beautiful eyes.
As do you.
Oh, thank you. Surprisingly, no one's ever said that to me before.
Because eyes are the doors to the soul. Or perhaps the windows? I don't know. I'm still working on that one.
I've heard it said the windows to the soul, but I mean,
Someone
I think
already has come up with this phrase.
yes,
And
yes, it's quite a
she,
common
She
phrase.
pulls out like a journal and she like scratches out like a line. She like puts it back in.
No, I quite like doors to the soul. I think that could catch on because it means you kind of have to knock or have permission to view someone's soul.
And who are you, wise man?
Wise man is up for a debate, but I'm Reginald Bellagamba. We're strangers to this land, and just what we are hoping for is to really get out of this heat. It's quite, as you can see, my form is quite suffering. To find some shade, to find a city, to find a clue to where we're going, really. I mean, all we know is we're heading east. We need to go east. So do you know where we are?
I love that he said east when you guys were supposed to be going west.
Yeah, David will just be like,
Oh,
actually, it's west, but
I misremembered that, but I love that Reginald would get confused. So yeah, let's go with that.
It's kind of perfect, actually.
Yeah,
so
Oh my god.
doing great. Still a little bit of Reginald. It's awesome.
She just replies, "Get out of the heat? Anarok is nothing but the heat. It is the desert of Anarok. How do you not know where you are, traveler?"
Have you heard of planar travel?
No.
Are you aware there is more than one plane? Do you know what a plane is?
We are on a plain, a flat plain, a desert.
Well, let's perhaps just say we're not from around here.
That is quite obvious. I can tell that one there is burning.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just.
I gave him a little bit of comfort. He's recovering from his burns.
Why are you in the desert of Anarok? If
Can I ask a weird question for you? I know that you don't know planar travel, so this may even be weirder. Are we in Faerûn?
this is Faerûn. Of course.
Okay, thanks.
And she like looks really like quizzical at you. She's just very like not understanding, as if you guys were aliens trying to fit in a planet. You know?
Hey, I'm right here, bro. I'm right here.
Well, let's get back to our
Gonna talk
spaceship.
aliens.
Oh, wrong planet.
Wrong planet. Yes. I probably should have opened with that. Thank you, David. So, Anarok, is that what it's called? Anarok?
Anarok, yes.
Anarok. How big is Anarok? You say it's nothing but desert, but like,
It
in-
stretches
Kotatar will
for...
kind of pipe in for a second. Is that the name of the desert?
It is.
Adds up.
so we're trying to go west, not east.
Yeah.
We're trying to go west. What is the closest? Would you perhaps know what the closest city is?
And she looks around for a couple of moments. I have been out here for 30 days. I am not quite sure which direction from which I came.
Oh my god, 30 days, please, please. And he gets like a big flask of water. Please have this water. 30 days.
And she kind of throws her hand up to like reject it kindly. I cannot. I am seeking my truth.
Yes. I've heard about monasteries and places where they do a kind of mission such as this.
This is more than a mission, I believe. I believe I have a greater purpose. A very great purpose. And you start to see almost like a storm brewing in her eyes, as if she's remembering something. And she's kind of lost in thought for a moment.
Well, far be it from us to interrupt, but I'm sure your personal journey you have to complete personally. But should we be of assistance, we have a variety of skills here.
Well, is it possible maybe that, I don't know what you're seeking, but what we're after can save not just your world, but as hard as it is to believe, worlds beyond worlds. Maybe your purpose is to help us.
And she stops for a second. She stands off of the rock. And she turns to all of you, and she has an eye on Silva for a moment. And she counts, and she says, 6. Yes, there were 6 figures in my dream. My nightmare. Dark clouds on the horizon. In all of my visions. Something terrible is coming, and it is my purpose to stop it. I have to seek my truth and find my purpose.
Nightmares. Well, we just happen to be quite experienced with nightmares. Wouldn't you say so, Sanleon?
Yes. We're, in fact, trying to stop all of that business.
Hold on. Don't you, and I mean this in no disrespect, stranger, find that to be even though we've come from a realm where in many cases nightmares have become real, don't you find that mighty convenient? You've been waiting 30 days for 6 people that look maybe similar to us.
There are no coincidences in this realm, or any other realm. That is what I believe.
Oh, do you know Alseta? This could have been all set in motion by Alseta.
All set in motion, if you will.
And Duval leaves.
No.
I cast banishment now. Not even a portal, just banish.
Is this a god you worship?
Not
It's a
worship,
god.
but we're helping her out.
Something of the sort.
In my vision, there was a god. A great kraken. Over the desert appeared a kraken.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I look around for krakens in the sky and everywhere.
Oh, look, Reginald, there's one.
There's one there, it's floating. Oh my god.
Where?
You do come true.
Ah, yes. Famously water-based kraken.
Well, maybe deserts were seas at one point, so... And that's been
Is there
thin
shade?
veils.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude. We're figuratively and literally dying out here. Is there any shade that we can continue this conversation? Perhaps water that's not in cacti that I found once.
I am sorry, but you are in the middle of the Anorak Desert. I can lead you out if that is what you wish, because it can get dangerous if windstorms come through, and they do often. But to get you to a city or a town, they are far and few between.
Not what we're looking for.
We'll settle for out.
Kotatar points towards the mountain range.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're headed. Do you know what that mountain range is?
The Desert Mouth Mountains. Yes. Very jagged and dangerous mountains, but over them is the end of Anorak and into greenery. Just beyond it is the Spider Haunt Woods. That is what you'll get if you wish to cross the mountains.
Sounds like that's what we need to do.
More spiders.
Our favorite. So half a day. Would you say half a day's journey is accurate?
How long has it been since?
Yeah, how long has it been since?
You guys have probably been about 2.5 hours walking towards the mountains, but then she smiles and she says, "Time can be funny here. If a storm hits, it seems all progress can be lost in an instant."
I have heard stories of windstorms picking up travelers and putting them down somewhere else.
It has happened to me at least a dozen times.
In 30 days?
Yes.
I suppose you don't think that was a coincidence either, huh?
No.
He's like studying her.
David's gonna pull out. Oh, I don't know.
I was just gonna say she's very stoic.
Mhm.
Like I said, she's very strong. Like you think that she could pick you up and like throw you. She's got she's huge muscles, but she's very is juxtaposed between her personality.
She feels very familiar to him.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. David?
He's just gonna pull out like a spare like shirt or fabric, and he's gonna just kind of tear it into strips, and he's gonna like tie it around his like face for like when the sandstorm comes, and he's gonna hand them out to everybody and offer one to I'm so sorry, I don't know if we got your name.
I am Itani.
Lovely to meet you, Itani. How rude of me.
Weird question. How do you spell your name, Itani?
Yes. It licks the quill in.
If you want to get to the Desert Mouth Mountains, I can lead you there.
Oh, would you? That would be incredible.
And with the sun high in the sky, she looks up and she looks at the mountains. And then she looks behind her, way off in the distance. And then from below the rock, where you guys may not have seen if you didn't come around, she lifts up a lantern. It's a metal lantern that doesn't have fire in it, but it does glow. It glows a soft blue light. This will help us make it through. And she looks for just a moment, at Silva. And she says, she says nothing. And then she looks at David for a moment. And David, she locks eyes with you, breathes in a moment, and smiles. And then she says, "This way." And she begins to lead you off.
David just when she makes eye contact, she's like,
I imagine Nira would be asking her every detail about how it works.
All right. Anything else as you guys begin to go?
Yes, just a small contingency, if you will. If some sandstorm starts to appear, you might want to take time to make that little hut that we hide in.
I
A
agree.
hut. You can build a hut. With what?
With
Magic.
magic.
With Nira. Everything
He
is
says
possible
super
with Nira.
deadpan.
Okay. So I'm picking up my notes. Where'd I go? Okay.
If you need some, I can. This is something I can do if you need to buy some time.
No. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. If there's something you want to do, absolutely.
Yeah. As they start walking, there is a. Speaking of magic, given this situation, I do have a spell I can utilize to grow plants if we need to.
She kind of smirks at you for a moment. And doesn't say anything.
Mhm.
But you can tell that she's like kind of intrigued.
And he continues, and if we really, really need to, I could focus on it for a far more significant amount of time. And if there's sort of a small plant area that I could focus on, I could enrich it and bring life to it. Just something to consider in case of emergencies.
Noted. And you can tell that she has like a... Give me an insight check.
Oh yeah, sure. That's not awesome. Oh no, I'm good at insight. 17.
She's hiding something. But she does find you very charming.
He keeps studying a little bit, and as they continue walking, how do you feel now that you've perhaps found what you're looking for? Or is it still an open question to you?
I am a truth bringer. It is time you know that. My truth, I believe, was to find you.
He just frowns.
insight check. I'm just kidding.
You can insight it if you'd like.
I mean, I will. I know. I have no reason. It was just funny that, like, she's a truth bringer, and so I'm seeing if she's telling the truth. But I have no reason to be. She's a truth bringer. We're on a different world. I don't. Sure.
But she looks at you and she says, "But I am an ally. Do not forget. Whatever happens, I am an ally."
You really could, just unsolicited advice, perhaps when stating that you're an ally, maybe not so ominous when you're trying to build trust with someone.
And
Yeah, I think I will insight now.
Insight that. Yeah.
I will now too.
Yeah,
I will
go
too.
ahead and Insight that.
19.
Good. 13.
Wait. Okay.
13.
The look on her face is as if she kind of realizes that you don't know what a truth bringer is. So that's maybe why she iterated that she is an ally for what is about to happen, kind of thing.
Well, what's about to happen? Hope.
San Leon, give me a Constitution saving throw.
That's fantastic.
Fuck you, 22.
You're
Right, I
the
got used
first-
to this heat.
You're the first one to notice that the sun feels a little bit more dim, and you feel sand starting to pelt your face.
A storm's coming.
And as he says that, almost instantly, a dust cloud comes from behind you and covers you. And Itani just says, "I'm sorry for what you're about to see." And she lifts up her hand with the lantern in it, and it glows blue, and she just says, "Stay close to me. I will get you to the mountains." And this storm just begins to, like, everyone needs to make Constitution saving throws as it begins to just the abrasiveness of the sand against your skin and blowing everything around you, and it's hard to breathe because there's just so much sand, and it's hard to see.
I don't breathe.
Okay, well then,
But
good for you.
And I did give everyone I did give everyone kind of crude masks to shield
Yes.
from the breathing hazards. If
Okay,
that has
everyone
any
can give it to
mechanical
me.
help.
Yeah, you can give it to me at advantage.
Hey, all right.
I need this one. Okay.
22.
Okay.
19 in it.
Yeah, there it is.
I still need to make one, probably.
Yes. Advantage.
You don't get advantage because you don't breathe.
Yeah.
Wait.
21.
Okay, so I think everyone made it over a 15. Is that correct?
I did not. I rolled a 13.
Kotatar, you just take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as
Okay.
the sand hits you. Now I need everyone. You realize as you're looking around as this storm starts to just overtake you, and everything becomes very dark, at least very clouded. I need everyone to make perception checks because you no longer see Tani.
With those face masks, do we get advantage?
21.
With my sunglasses, do I get advantage?
16.
I'm gonna get taken by the druids again. I got a natural 1.
Oh, there we are. Back to
Wake up
normal.
again, David.
We're back.
Get in the circle. Get-
Oh my god.
You find yourself behind a sand waterfall.
A sand waterfall.
yes.
Prince of Persia. I rolled a 22.
22. You're able to see the blue light in the distance, but you cannot see her. What would you like to do?
I start as I'm kind of choking a bit. I you see Kotatar just kind of almost like in a stance, sort of spread his legs out, and he begins to maneuver his arms around him, and then just flashes them out to the side, and there's another we're in the middle of what this wind tunnel situation is. He produces his own. He's gonna cast wind what's it called, wind wall, and sort of attempt to sort of block the wall he's gonna concentrate on this for up to a minute and just see what he can do.
Absolutely.
Kind of.
Mhm.
No, I'll let this play out just so I don't have to burn a spell slot right now.
So
at least a
I
minute.
know with Windwall you can kind of shape it however you want. Do you kind of want to keep it as like a circle around the group
Correct.
and kind of pushing out? Okay, that's great.
Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I love it. So yes, you're able to push forward very well. It is still dark, as in very
Sure.
clouded, and you can see, if you want to lead them forward, you can see the blue light ahead, as it seems like Itani is showing you the way, but she has not slowed down. So she's kind of not waiting for you guys. She just
Yeah,
expects you to
and-
be able to keep up.
And like, it's about 15 feet high, and like it circles around like about like 50 feet, and he just says, "Stay close," and continues forward.
You guys
Yeah.
continue forward. Yes, go ahead, Sunlian.
I'm grabbing some part of your clothing, Kotatar,
Sure.
and just yelling back, reaffirming, just being like, "Everyone, follow us!"
I will produce some vines, and we can attach ourselves to one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will thorn whip without the hurdies. Without the hurdies. Vine whip.
DM.
Yeah, you've set the precedent, Hope. So I'm gonna lean on it till the wheels fall off.
It's a flower
Love
whip
to see it.
now.
It's flower
So
whip.
everyone can kind of tie their arms to one another if they want, or their waists or whatever. Keep us together.
Okay. Okay, great. You have your wind wall up, and you start to move forward, and you do so. But a minute goes by, and your wind wall is gone, and you still have what you seems is going to be hours to go. So it got
So
you
I will
through-
make a motion.
Mhm.
I don't want to interrupt.
No, you go ahead.
I will make a motion that looks actually like kind of like he's you can almost see like a star form of Kotatar in front of David as he's like kind of following the motions, sort of like watching like a video and trying to like copy the motions. And when he finishes, there'll just be this like glowing wind that comes from his hands, and those like wind dragons that we found in the airplane. I will summon my elemental of wind to kind of like it forms out and kind of like raises its wings to do like almost like a cone behind us.
Okay.
And so it will push forward for us
Okay.
as
How
much
long
as
does
that can help.
last?
An hour.
Okay, that's great. You guys are pushing through, and you have this wind elemental creating this kind of front of a train kind of part that just going to help you get through. And together you all make it 90 perception checks, or you can leave it to Kotatar since he's in the front.
I rolled really well too. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I perception pretty good.
You got a 25.
30.
Guidance.
2.
Bruh!
17.
Dang.
Silva, what are you doing in this moment?
I think that this land is it's different. She's never seen anything like it. But also, she doesn't mind the heat. She's so distracted by this sand, actually, that she's not even listening to anything. She's bent down and pulling it through her fingers and watching it sort of just filter through, and she just keeps like watching this sand and the texture as everyone's distracted or figuring things out. She's just very distracted with this.
Silva, as you look up, the sand, and you're feeling this moment of like peace almost, as you or as almost like a childlike wonder in this moment of playing with the sand. And when you look back up again, you see that you're attached to a vine whip. The vine just keeps going into the storm, and you no longer see anyone else.
All right. Come on. Fine. I'm coming. I'm coming.
As you start to stand and walk, the end, you see a figure thinking that you're going to catch up, just strapped to the other side of the thorn with, describe to me what your patron looks like.
Oh shit! Let's go!
Oh,
my God.
and April is not here
Super
again.
April. Sorry,
Dang.
April.
Poor April.
Let's go.
Lordy. My patron is a amalgamation of Earth. There are bits of stone and obsidian and sand, and it's all kind of it's like this form that's humanoid, that's made up of the stone, but in between all of the different types of rocks and stones, there's like a sort of magmous substance that's gluing it all together, and it's sort of just an undulating form that stands before me with vague features, and I recognize them because I've seen them before at my forge when I was making the necklace that David now wears.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, no. Let's see here. That's a 7 on the die with my bonus. It is a grand total of D&D Beyond is waiting to up for some reason. Just
D&D Beyond. Now that'll hit. Roll damage.
come on, buddy. Okay, that's a 3, so 10 total.
The features are so vague that you can't really get too much of a read on what I would say is a facial expression. But you might read into it that, and I'm gonna kind of play off of what you said and say your patron is large. They are almost like a different being, a different type of being they are. But like, I want to say that they're actually, while they can probably change form and become smaller, in this moment, they are big. They are a large creature, and it's looking down at you, and they have a look of what you can read as disappointment or unfulfilled.
I stand up, the remnants of sand trickling from my fingers. What are you doing here?
G'day, I'm your patron. You know, like,
You don't hear, like, you hear words or you hear sounds come out of its vague shape of a mouth that sounds like a muffled, but in your head, you hear it clear as day. Why did I choose you?
It's me. Was it you who gave me these powers? This magic? This aid that comes to my hands when I'm in need?
Yes.
Why did you?
Because you had something I wanted. Pain. So much pain, and I feed off of it. It is a rare power source. And you are abundant.
I was. Sometimes I am. I'm guessing you're hungry again?
You are not delivering on our agreement.
You want this back?
I want you to feel more pain.
All right. How do I go about that?
That is not up to me. But we made a contract.
I'm where I want to be. I've been in pain for so long, and I found people who helped me through it. They didn't just feed off of me. They fed into me. They gave me something I've never had before. A found family.
And with those words, this creature, this patron, begins to shrink to a medium size, almost so that it can be eye to eye with you. And it lifts up its hand, and they put the hand almost brushing against your cheek. Maybe I can feed off of a new emotion if you have an abundance of something else.
I will take their hand and I'm going to bring it down to my chest right here and say, do you feel that? There's always been a lot of love. It was just grief that overshadowed it. If you want another emotion, feed off this one.
And the hand that you have holding to your chest, as you look up to your patron, it is no longer your patron. It is Itani, holding the lantern in her other arm, and her eyes glowing blue. And she smiles and says, "This is your truth." And then a windstorm flows past you and she is gone. And you are once again attached to the vine, walking with your companions.
I look around, trying to see if any of them saw that. Am I imagining things here?
What?
Tony, she was right here.
As you
Who?
call
What?
out, no one answers. Their backs
Oh.
are turned to you. And as you walk, they seem to each
Oh.
be in their own trance.
Uh-oh.
I do not cry at the same one.
Oh,
I'm just
I
like-
do not cry either, yeah. Whoa.
Reginald, as you dig your feet into the sand that is now starting to accumulate through this storm, and you look down at your boots getting scuffed, you see in front of you as you look up your eldest brother, Reuben. And he is in his winter form.
Wait, is it
And-
Reuben or the other one?
Reuben is the eldest.
The one that
My-
died?
No, the one that lives, the one of Mirabara.
Okay,
Reuben
Reuben
died.
was the one we killed, who's the middle brother.
That was
Who's we?
right.
Well, I helped.
Um,
Uh-oh.
I'm getting
It
all
is
that.
your
We're
your
not
eldest
on
bro-
stream. Visually.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
we may have.
Did you actually?
There you go.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
Good catch.
Good catch.
Good catch.
I think it was Rylan was the oldest.
Okay, that's not in my notes, but Rylan. We can say Rylan.
Yeah, cool.
Your eldest brother, the ruler of Mirabara, stands before you in his winter form, and
Oh,
he
damn.
looks heartbroken. He
Oh,
looks
damn.
absolutely crushed.
I'll
You've
just
never seen him like this, ever.
slowly walk up and slowly reach a hand out. Brother? Is that you?
He doesn't move, but he locks eyes with you, and there is just... It's just filled with an emotion you never knew he had, as tears roll down and begin to freeze on his cheeks.
This can't be you. You've never shown an actual emotion that wasn't anger or pride or arrogance. This can't be you.
Are you satisfied?
With what?
With what you have done to this family?
What I have done to the family? About what you have done to the family? Keeping the family in order, following father's orders just to keep in order by violence and throwing anything away that you didn't like, throwing me to Sackville.
You speak of what you have done. You have incited violence in this family. You have thrown aside what matters.
You're talking about Reuben, aren't you?
And another tear falls down his cheek.
I will forever be trying to make amends for that. That was wrong. I would want to get rid of him in other ways, not with such a violent method, the methods of my family.
And yet you did.
I did. But I realize it was wrong, too late, but to you, to our family, that was just the way we do things. Maybe the impulses of our ways of life are just buried too deep to overcome, but I'm trying to get better. And really, I don't know if I want to be part of this family anymore, especially if that's the way we solve conflict.
He falls to his knees, and he completely loses his composure, and he starts sobbing into his arms, into his hands. Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
I was weak. He belittled me. I was nothing to him. I fought back with the only way I knew how, deep down. I've never fought back in my life, but this time I did. It was wrong. But tell me this, would you weep like this for me if it was the other way around?
No, you are nothing. He was everything.
Exactly.
You're nothing.
I know that. I know I'm nothing. But at least I've realized that I can be better. Because there's no way to go but up. The problem with you is you are nothing, but you don't realize it. Sure, you may have power, but you are nothing.
He stands, and as he lifts his head, you now see Tani, and she speaks. This is your truth. And the sandstorm overtakes you, and she is gone.
Oh. Did everyone see that? Where am I?
Kotatar, give me a perception check.
22.
You are in the lead, and you are trying your hardest to just stay focused on that little blue light in the distance, knowing that that's really your only way, that you can lose your way so easily if you let go of that light. But then something catches your eye. Through the break in the clouds, this sandstorm clouds, just through the moving sand, you look to the sky, and it opens up for you just enough, and you see a fleet of mind flare ships floating over.
Kind of, he spins around to see if anybody's behind him.
You are still attached to the thorn whip.
Yeah.
It leads back. It just seems like it goes on forever into the storm, and you see no one but yourself.
Kind of spins back around. Is this what you were attempting to apologize for? Is this the truth that you attempt to bring to me?
It's not that easy. You hear a voice of Itani. What is it that you want? You just hear the voice echoing through you.
And he's still like walking, like as he's listening to this. What is that supposed to represent?
A choice.
My past? That versus what?
This mission. Your friends. Would you let go of it all if it meant that you could save the ones you love?
So you mean to state that you on this mission to the destruction of my people that I just saved?
Your people are always in danger, and you know that. You can feel it inside.
As you yourself just said. Never that easy. I believe I'm trying to have it all. The destruction of the Nightmare brings everything to a close for a time. At least that's the pitch. I stand firm. I am meant to be here. I've chosen to be here. Let them come.
And from the dust, coming forward into view, is a mind flare, but their face is that of Itani. And she simply says, "This is your truth." And the wind and the sand overtake you, and you are back staring for that blue light. San Leon, give me a perception check.
21.
You're hanging on to this vine, and it just seems to stretch on and on forever. In front of you and behind you, tied to the person behind you, you feel so alone in this moment. And then you see a figure in the dust. They are very small. And as it clears and as you get closer, you stop and you see a young boy. He has very similar features to you. The wavy dark black hair, the eyes very similar to you, the features, the paleness. He seems to be maybe 7, 8. He stares at you as if you were a stranger.
San Leon sort of kneels down in front of this child. Whether you look familiar. I wonder what you'll grow up to be. I wonder. Fighter? Soldier? Warrior?
Whatever I grow up to be, as long as it's not you.
As long as it's not me.
That's what Daddy says.
Interesting. You're my little brother, aren't you? That I've never met, not once.
Are you still alive?
Are any of us really?
That's a weak answer.
I wasn't for a while. Not really. But then everything changed. And now more than ever, I feel the heartbeat inside me.
Daddy said he's going to kill you.
Daddy said he's going to kill you. Oh, listen to yourself, little twerp.
You should be afraid. He has help.
He's always had help. It's the only reason he had power in the first place.
I think you're scared.
How do you figure?
I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your hands. I can see it in the way you stand. You're afraid of him. And I'm going to grow up to be just like him.
Ooh. Yikes. Suppose we all have daddy issues, don't we? But I'm less afraid than I was, little one. You see, unlike before, I have a real family. One that really cares about me. Your father? Our father never cared about us. Never.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, he's caused so much pain. The fact that you want to be just like him is, a little upsetting. But nonetheless, my path is clear. My birth was his undoing. From the start. I didn't see it until now. But that is what I shall be. I shall be the scissors that cut through the strands that keep him aloft. I shall be his death.
And you hear a voice behind you saying, "This is your truth."
Cheeky.
And the sand overtakes you. You all feel this sense in your heart that there perhaps has been a change, a revelation through this storm. You don't know how long you've been going. It feels like seconds, perhaps hours. It's like a dream that feels so real you're sure it's true. And Itani is now closer to you with her lantern leading you on. And she looks back at you. This way. We're almost there. And the storm starts to fall away. And in front of you is just a giant mountain of rocks and sharp, jagged features. And she turns to you and brings her lantern down, and she looks up at the sky and she says, "This is where we part."
Did everyone else just experience something?
Yes, Reginald. I think so.
Atani, what just happened?
Kotatar
What
just
needed
says,
to happen?
Kotatar just says the truth.
The truth.
It's a long way up, if you'd like to keep going. I thank you for your companionship, and know I am always an ally to you.
and we'll be there when you call.
And how will we call you?
She opens the lantern and pulls some energy out of it, this blue glowing, and she crushes it. And in her hand is a blue diamond. And she hands it to you, Kotatar.
How is David looking?
David, how is David looking?
You're muted.
I don't know. Is he in a fugue state? Did he have a fugue state?
No.
I don't know. I think he looks fine. He's been monitoring the rope. Did the vines, when they were in their states, did it feel like they were tugging at all during that, or?
Just felt that normal sense of pull as everybody was walking.
Yeah, so I think he was just focused on making sure that that everyone was still attached, that everyone was still together, and that no one was getting lost. I don't think he noticed that everyone was in a fugue state because it just felt like he was walking and he was just making sure he couldn't see everybody. So he's just, as long as I can keep them together, I'll know if someone is not with us and I can deal with it then. But he has no reason to feel any kind of way.
You actually feel, with all of that concentration, you feel the most exhausted because you walked for at least 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kotatar's pretty
I
sore
think
himself.
it didn't hit him. I think once we stopped, he realized that you can give me a number of exhaustion that seems appropriate to that, but I think that it was just like being so focused on keeping everyone as safe as he could and together that he could have walked another 4.5 miles without feeling it. But stopping is like the weight of it all. Like probably he had to pull them along more than normally would. So yeah, I think that he's definitely just once his feet stop moving, it's like the weight of his body starting from where they started walking just slams into his back.
Mm-hmm. Tani steps back kind of away from the group to kind of, open up the road to you. This pathway up, mostly just climbing. You might be able to find a little bit of a winding route, but it's going to be mostly just climbing rock over rock to get up.
Kotatar will take out his very long 50 feet of rope from when they climbed the mountain last time. At least it's not as cool as it was last time. And he just kind of tosses the rope to the back of whoever's last of the group and ties it.
So has Atani left now, or?
Nope, she's still there.
But she said she has to leave us here.
Yes, she's not going to join you.
Alright, I'll say farewell to Atani and just ask her. This may sound bizarre, but I think there was perhaps I already know the answer to this. Do you think there perhaps was a divine reason why we met?
She smiles and she just says to you, "There are no coincidences."
Yes, I thought you might just say that. Was it absolute pleasure?
It actually does bring up a question in my mind. What if it was a truth that you already knew?
Then you are on the right path.
He just nods. And he kind of just looks kind of lost in thought for a second. Go ahead.
Thank you, Atani. And thank you for the communication method. We seem to have a few of those now. But may we always meet and help each other in the future.
She nods.
I know that.
Look after yourself. Yes, I know it's all this mysterious mumbo jumbo, but sometimes you have to look after oneself as well. And in a desert, anything could happen.
She kind of looks to the sky, realizing that the sun is beginning to set for once, and she just says, I must still find my truth.
Well, I hope you do.
Kotatar will turn and start walking up.
I think
Yep.
David's gonna reach out to Kotatar, and you look at him and you can just see he's so tired. He's like, Kotatar, I don't think I could do it.
He kind of puts like a hand like on your shoulder. Do you need to rest?
We gotta get there, but I mean, I feel fine, but we've been walking for so fucking long, and you guys seem refreshed?
If it's any consolation, I'm very sore.
A little bit, if we're being honest. It's a little bit of a consolation, but I don't know, man. I can't right now.
Why don't you
David,
just use
and
the
he'll just,
nearest
like-
room?
David, I don't need to breathe.
I do.
I know.
I've been,
Do you want to hop up?
yeah,
All right.
I do.
Just get down on one knee. Come on.
I think he
Room's right there.
can't. I think he can't even like hold on to behind you.
All
Like,
right.
he doesn't have the arm strength.
I'll swaddle you then.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and you begin to climb. And David, as you kind of, are resting your head on San's shoulder, you take one look as everyone's beginning to ascend. And now you're looking down at Itani, who locks eyes with you. And right next to her is a circle. And she whispers, "This is your truth."
Oof.
And then the dust takes her and the circle, and she is gone.
I think David like shuts his eyes, like almost like a kid in a nightmare, right? Like trying to shut their eyes, and it's like it's not real. And he'll like bury his face into sand, like
David, you
and just. I don't know.
all right?
I don't know.
We've got your time, and if you be awake and want to talk, I mean, I'm right here.
I saw the circle.
Sen just kind of pauses and looks around, but realizes probably something to do with the fucking desert and goes, keeps walking. You saw the circle.
Yeah. I looked down at this person that you all seem to, in a time where we couldn't talk to them, become best friends with. And she was standing right next to a circle of stupid leaves and said, "This is your truth." So fun.
Kotatar's probably like no more than 10 feet above you. He's like kind of like using his swords to make like extra like large like footholds for everyone. And he just kind of looks down with a bit of a friend, like kind of like right climber, like kind of hanging there.
No harness, all upper strength.
Nah. Already sore, so whatever. Who cares? That upset you?
If that's my truth, I don't think I will like the answer. And like he kind of like nestles into sand a little more, and you hear this like when a glass gets like it drops on a glass, and you just hear like that crack as it splinters. And so while he's like kind of like shying away, you see various different states of concern, different versions of David just like mirroring out of him, looking down at the where the mirror was. And like they're like there's like a bunch of them, and they're starting to like kind of crawl over, like they're not completely corporeal, but there's just like a bunch of different Davids that all have just little differences in them that are like looking back for him, and then they just back into him.
I have one thing to add to that if you want to hear some silver lining, if you like. All these things we've seen. Maybe it is your truth, but not in the way that you think. Maybe it's rejecting that circle. That is your truth.
We didn't see it until we were going away from it.
You're walking away,
so
aren't you? Just
being held like a baby. Like, well,
I start patting. Burpees.
After a
Kotatar
fashion,
just says,
yes.
Kotatar just says, and you walked away twice.
You did.
Doesn't mean I'm not curious.
How do you view
natural.
curiosity?
Hmm?
Is it a boon?
Say again? You kind of came in quiet.
How do you view your curiosity? Is it a boon? Is it a concern?
Someone woke me up from a dead sleep, said I was one of the most important people in the world. Now, by itself, that's just lunacy. Then I had the powers you met me with. I had them for about a month before we met. So I rejected it. I found my own way, but what am I walking away from something that is important? I don't know. Doesn't feel right for me. And when I met that guy, I mean, what I've been doing, if preparing for this big whatever is helping people, I've been helping people all along the way. But I wasn't helping them the way they wanted me to, so I was failing them. I don't know.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
But then, if there are no coincidences, why do I have this?
Perhaps you can make your own circle. Where you get to choose what did you say the other day? The leaves look like.
Just for reference, are we starting to climb? Because I'm just walking up, but you're still swaddled, so you can literally just turn around, sit, and talk to Kotatar, because I'm walking like fucking 90 degrees up the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think to answer, I suppose, my own question. Curiosity and chaos sometimes go hand in hand. Just perhaps don't lose focus on what's important to you. And it was kind of like a look of sort of like, not reconciliation, like sort of like almost like he like the light like he like accidentally set out a light bulb up in his own head.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, that does sound like good advice, Kotatar.
So it's just silently chuckling under both of you. Like
all right, I think I can. Thanks for the lift, but I think I can climb the rest of the way.
all right. Well,
As
hop
we're
off whenever you like.
as we're prepared to climb up the rope, I just quickly kind of put a hand on Silva's shoulder and say, well, I think I'll need about 6 months to process what I just saw. How about you?
I'm okay. What did you see?
I remember the brother that is not dead.
Yeah.
I remember how he was even worse.
Yeah.
Well, he made some jibes and some criticisms that were, a lot of them were quite valid. But I stood
Were
up to
they
him.
though?
Some of them. Not all of them. But I stood up to him.
You did.
Yeah. I wonder if I can
Good
do
for
that
you.
in real life.
That was real. To you, it was real.
Huh. Never thought of it like that.
You didn't know that that was her. You didn't know that this was all just some sort of illusion or truth, whatever. In that moment, it was true to you. So you stood up to him now. You can stand up to him again.
Thank you. Thank you for always having my back.
I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Sure. Shall we ascend?
Let's do it.
After you.
You all climb or fly or walk. You make your way up this dangerous cliff or mountain. And eventually, just as the sun is cresting, you reach the top. And over this break, you see a vast forest, just as far as the eye can see. Beautiful greenery, ponds and lakes. And it's so warm looking in the color of the sunset. And in this moment, you all feel renewed. And that's where we're going to end tonight. A little early, but that's where we'll leave it. So,
And we
thank you,
leveled up, right?
everyone. Maybe soon. Thank you, everybody.
Give me my living back home.
Thank you, everybody who watches with us live, everyone on YouTube, everyone on the podcast. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for being with us tonight. I really enjoyed this one, so I hope you did too. We will be back next week for a dream journal.
Yes.
And
we will.
then following the next week, when we come back to play, we're going to have a special guest joining.
Yay!
Guest star.
Guess.
The amazing Michael Coleman on the show, so playing a very special character. So stay tuned for that, and we look forward to it. We'll see you for
He's
Dream
the liar. He's the liar in PC.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
My friend, I see you've changed your face. My friend, what game you play today? Will you stay?